Hello, and happy Straturday, friends. Psyberry here with another Darkest Dungeon How to Use guide. Before I get started today, thank you again for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this guide with a friend. It's going to help immensely. We're currently trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you guys are well on our way, and almost halfway there. And I appreciate every single one. Alright. Let's get down to it. Today we're going to take a deep dive into how to play the Templar. The Templar was released March 3rd, 2021, last updated April 22nd of 2021. Let's go over the credits real quick. Iroh did the character art, a slightly startled Seal did the animations, and from the looks of it, Kaedwin did all the rest. Alright, as we look into the base stats, we're going to see a very tanky looking class, and we'll get to that afterwards. But for now, let's just start with the HP. It's going to start off with a 31 at first resolve, and progress all the way to a 55 at maximum resolve. These are the same HP stats as a Man-at-Arms. I would consider it a high HP stat. There are very few who have more HP per level than this class will have. So it's actually pretty tanky in that regard. Dodge starts at a 5 and progresses to a 25 at 5th resolve, and this is average, I would consider, for the dodge stat. And it's the same dodge stat as a bounty hunter and also the Man-at-Arms. So you're going to find he's going to have just enough dodge, depending on how you use him, to avoid attacks. It's not really going to be a point of pride on this class, though. The prot is a 0, as you expect to see with these classes, but there are ways to equip him that I would even probably do that would improve on this. The speed starts out at a 3, and at resolve 3 it'll turn to a 4, and then it'll turn to a 5 at final resolve. This is what I consider to be average speed, and it is the same speed stat as a Man-at-Arms or an Arbalist. The accuracy is a +0. This is kind of what you expect to see out of any of these classes, so it's not really anything to bat an eye at. The crit starts at a 2%. Moves to a 6% at final resolve. This is barely below average, in my opinion. This is the same crit as a Plague Doctor by default or a Man-at-Arms has. So you're going to find that he's not necessarily going to crit a lot, but he's got a few abilities that are going to improve on that. The damage is a 5 to 9 at opening resolve, and then it progresses to an 8 to 14 at the final resolve. I consider this to be average frontline damage, and it's the same exact damage growth as a Man-at-Arms has at each of these levels. And now that we've gotten through all the base stats, you're going to notice that all of these I compared to the Man-at-Arms, and these stats are exactly, and I mean exactly, like the Man-at-Arms as the Templar goes up levels. So, if you find the Man-at-Arms a very tanky option, or you like just the stats of a Man-at-Arms disregarding the combat skills, then you'll like the Templar too. And he's got his own unique brand of tank justice that we'll get into now. The first of his combat skills is Righteous Blow. It is usable from rank 1 or 2, and you can target rank 1, 2, or 3 enemies with this attack. It's a melee attack with an accuracy base of 85. It does full damage and has a crit modifier of +5%. Now on contact, this is going to debuff the target minus 10% prot at opening resolve for the default 100% base. So this is a good debuff on top of doing pretty good damage, because the Templar here is no slouch in the damage department. It's just an outright lack of abilities that actually outright attack. So Righteous Blow is very potent for what it does, and it's, I think, aside from riposts, which I don't think he by default he has other ways of returning damage. This might be the only melee source of damage he gives, and that really depends on how much, which one damage reflection counts as. His second ability is Reckoning. It is usable from rank 1 or 2, and may target any opponent. It is a ranged attack, with an accuracy base of 85, a damage modifier of negative 40%, and a crit mod of plus 3%. And every time the Templar is attacked, this ability gains power. So when the Templar is taking incoming attacks, to my understanding, this works whether it damages him or not. But I know there are triggers for when he takes damage, this will empower itself. So this is going to become kind of a move you want as a staple that is also going to get more and more potent the more damage he's going to take. So this is just kind of a nice option. A lot of times I find that his other moveset options we haven't gone over yet are so good, I usually take one of these two and not the other, which is unfortunate. But he's got ways to contribute besides the damage department. The third ability from Templar is Lay on Hands. This is usable from any rank, and he targets an ally primarily with this, and he's going to heal 23% of their max HP at first resolve. This will improve as you level up, but it has a 2-round cooldown, so you're not going to be able to use this for the next 2 rounds. This securely puts him as a good backup healer or emergency healer, but not a every turn kind of spam healer like a Vestal you might get into situations with. This is also going to debuff himself for -3 speed and -35% damage, and so that's not a bad trade-off for such a potent heal tied to the max HP of the target. His fourth ability is Martyr's Blessing. This is usable from any rank again, and you are going to select an ally, and you're going to guard that ally. You are going to transfer any bleed or blight from them to the Templar, and you are going to buff the Templar plus 20% stun resistance and plus 20% move resistance. So this is kind of an interesting case where he doesn't mark himself, but he is going to guard an ally. So if you've got a guy who is marked, this is not a bad way to respond to that. Like if you were fighting spiders and you don't want to get mark critted into oblivion, go ahead and guard that ally, because they're going to prioritize the mark and they're going to target him instead, and he's not going to get that extra mark crit and damage. So it's a interesting way to deal with spiders and such. His fifth ability is Via Dolorosa, and it is usable from rank 1, 2, or 3, and it can target any ranked opponent. It's a ranged attack with an accuracy base of 85, a damage modifier of -100%, and no crit modifier. This is going to bypass guard. It's going to pull the target 2 ranks forward with 100% base, and it will break any guard that may be in effect. And this will debuff the target -10 dodge with 100% base. So this is a good pull and debuff move, especially if you've got somebody being guarded. This is a good way to just lure them out into the open, bring them up close for anybody to be in range, and then just chip away at whoever was important enough to guard in the first place. So this is kind of a unique situation for him. This is a sometimes food. It depends on what dungeon I'm in. His sixth ability is Guiding Star. It is usable from rank 1 or 2. This ability is usable 1 time per battle, and it's going to increase the torch by 24, so this is going to save you on torches and light, and it's going to buff the party for accuracy, plus 6 accuracy, and a -10% stress taken. And I believe these buffs stay for the entire battle. This is very similar to a Man-at-Arms buff, but it's different. It's also kind of similar to a buff from the Jester, or likewise. It's a very good party-wide assistance move. And the 7th ability is Retribution. This is usable from any rank, and it is only usable once per battle. This is going to buff yourself and debuff yourself. So you're going to gain 60% damage reflection, which will improve as he levels up. And it's going to buff himself for less crits received, 10% less crits received at this level. In exchange, it's going to debuff him minus 100% of his dodge and plus 25% damage received. So this is a good... this is like the counter to a riposte. It's a counter to a counter. So this is a good way to kind of utilize his HP and also put damage back on people without even being aggro. Like, if you want to be using friendly skills a lot with your Templar, this is not a bad way to also get damage out of the deal. Start with this around 1, and then you can focus on guarding allies, healing allies, buffing allies, whatever it is you really want to do. In that case, I would definitely bring an attack in case, and I would be tempted to bring Reckoning because of its range. That's generally how I do it, but Righteous Blow is also good in a pinch. So those are the combat skills. Let's dive real quick into the camping skills before we move on to other things. It's going to have the generic Encourage, Wound Care, and Pep Talk of any class, and the first unique camping skill the Templar has is Decretum. And if I pronounce these all horribly wrong, I apologize. I'm trying. This is a time cost 2 camping skill. You're going to select a companion and give them plus 10% damage while guarded, plus 1 speed while guarded. If they are religious, they will also gain a plus 10% damage while guarded in addition, and if religious, a bonus plus 2 speed while guarded in addition. So this is, if you have a religious party, or you know you are going to always be guarding the same target whenever guarding is a thing you do with the Templar, this is a good way to make sure that that unit is still potent there. But the thing you gotta be concerning yourself with is that these are damage and speed potencies. So if the person you're guarding is an attacker, this is a good way to supplant that during camping. And this will last until the next time you camp, so going in and camping early might be a good way to utilize this. His second unique camping skill is Libera Me. It's a time cost 3 camping skill, and you're going to select all companions and give everybody a plus 30% stun resistance and a plus 30% move resistance until the next time they camp. This is very similar to the self buffs he gets for Martyr's Blessing, and actually combined with them is going to be hella potent into not being stunned or moved. So this is actually an interesting defensive camping skill that is very thematically linked to another one of those combat skills. His third camping skill is Deus Vult, which is a time cost 5 camping skill. You're going to select all companions and give them plus 6 accuracy for 4 battles, plus 6% crit for 4 battles, and these bonuses are going to double on religious allies. So if they're religious, they're going to get an additional 6 accuracy and plus 6% crit. So this is very good if you're taking a party that is, let's say, a Vestal, a Crusader, and another religious rank, maybe a Leper, or maybe just someone in the back lines that is going to be assisting you, but also religious, because these buffs are huge to get for 4 battles on religious units. Plus 6 on either of those, accuracy or crit. That's not going to make or break a battle, but plus 12 is. That is a hefty advantage. And the final camping skill is Lux Aeterna. This is a time cost 3 camping skill. You're gonna needlessly could target a companion, because this doesn't actually affect a companion, but it's there because it needs to be coding-wise. But this is going to reduce torch burn rate by 50% for 4 battles. So that torch that you're going to get as a gift after camping is going to last you a hell of a long time. And even the torches you have to reignite to keep the light level high, they're going to last a very long time until you've gone through that 4 battle timer. Because doubling how long they last is very efficient. So, a couple other things to mention before we get to the quirks or the trinkets. The first of which is the crit effect on the Templar. When the Templar crits, and I've discovered this with my Let's Play and then recently looked into it while studying for this video, it is going to heal allies, like all of his allies, every time he crits. And I believe it's 5% of their max HP, so it is linked to their total HP, which means as you level up, it will heal you more. It will heal your allies, more and more each time. So every time he crits, you're gonna get a AoE heal to all of his friends, which is really, really impressive as a crit effect. Otherwise, let's see. Yeah, let's breeze to the quirks that I would lock here. Photomania is not a bad choice. I just didn't have anything else on him at this point that I liked. What I would definitely lock on him, because he's kind of caught in between the ranged and melee damage dealing, is I would definitely lock Warrior of Light. It doesn't give to either side of that, and you kind of want the Templar in Torchlight anyway. So Warrior of Light is going to help a ton. Luminous is also good to expound on that average dodge if you're not planning on gimping the dodge out completely, with Retribution that is. Otherwise, Hard Skinned is pretty good. It doesn't have the best tech with Retribution, but it is very defensive in nature, so it's a good option as well. I would definitely lock Hippocratic. It should improve the healing done with Lay on Hands. But otherwise, those are the ones that really speak to me as instantly lockable. Real quick, let's go over some of the trinkets that the Templar has at his disposal. Some of them I have equipped on the one I'm going to be running into a dungeon with, and I'll go over them later, and some never dropped in my Hamlet, so I apologize for the ones that I'm missing. The first of which is the Holy Grail. This is the rare trinket for the Templar, and it's going to improve his healing skills by 25%. This is pretty potent, actually, for a Templar-only trinket, that kind of thing. Vestal similarly has a couple things that do this, but with a disadvantage, and to have this just point-blank give you that healing you need is actually pretty useful. I go out with this frequently. The other rare trinket here is the Ordained Stake. This is going to give you 10% crit with your ranged skills. It's going to give you 20% armor piercing on your attacks in exchange for 10% more stress taken from other sources. So, this is pretty potent, actually. Armor piercing is nothing to bat an eye at. This is a lot of a buff. So I find I will, if I have a trinket spot and I kind of want to go with a more aggressive playstyle with a Templar, which isn't typically like me, then I will probably throw the Ordained Stake or something similar on him. They're very helpful buffs. The uncommon trinket here is the Seal of Martyrdom. It's going to give a bonus 20% max HP, and your damage is going to improve while bleeding or blighted by 20% each. So if you are both bleeding and blighted, you are going to be doing a bonus 40% damage with the Seal of Martyrdom. So basically the Templar, kind of in shades of the Flagellant, is going to turn their own suffering into a boon for him and his party. So this is kind of a unique way to equip a Templar, in my opinion. And if you have a party member that can bleed or blight allies, this is not a bad way to go about it. And maybe think about putting them with a Templar, because he's going to benefit from that shit. And his HP is high enough that he doesn't necessarily have to worry about low-level bleeds and blights. But yeah, it's going to require a little bit of effort to make this as good as it could possibly be. And aside from that, we have a couple other trinkets here equipped on the one we're taking out onto a dungeon. The very rare trinket, Divine Book, is going to give a bonus 25% virtue chance to the Templar, and when you use a friendly skill, your allies will stress heal for 4 with a 90% chance occurrence, and on an attack hit, your allies will stress heal for 4 with a 90% chance occurrence. So every time he's going to either hit an enemy with an attack, or use a friendly skill on himself or an ally, there's a 90% likelihood that he's going to stress heal all allies for 4. So this is a very potent way to be an off stress damage healer without focusing on it. So I'm going to take this out, and hopefully it'll proc a few times. I have a unit in the party that will be accruing stress, so hopefully they will work well together. They should. The other one I'm going to be equipping here is the Crystalline Trinket, Otherworldly Message. This will also add a 10% virtue chance to the Templar, and when you use a friendly skill, you will buff the party for plus 3% virtue chance. My typical fighting style with the Templar, I haven't tried with these trinkets yet, but typically I use a lot of friendly skills. So these 3 things here are going to each proc these effects: the stress heal on everybody and the virtue chance buff on everybody. A few of my units, like I believe the Buried doesn't have a alterable virtue chance, but the rest will benefit from that pretty hefty, so that should be interesting. But anyway, that is all aside from the combat portion. So we're gonna run over here and try out the only medium dungeon of this difficulty, and kind of show this off a bit. Oh, I do need these. So I'll see you in there.
They breed quickly down there in the dark, but perhaps we can slay them even faster.
Yeah, I can probably go this way safely. I'm going to be circling this thing anyway, so... Alright, trap. 100%, 80%, 105. Nobody really needs the stress heal off of it, but I got 2 options, so that's nice. Alright, combat, let's do this. Alright, I'm going to stun the back. That should be fun. We're going to kill one outright. Good to see. Alright. Nobody gets a turn. Okay, normally I would try and start out with Retribution to activate damage reflection and all that. I don't need it yet, though. I'm still gonna do it, because I don't know when his next turn's coming up. Leave my Plague Doctor alone. Probably not going to affect them, but it did. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm really, really tired right now. Well, I'm going to stun you again. That's what you get for moving. Damage reflect 1. Maybe? Yay!
Continue the onslaught. Destroy.
Well, I'm gonna kill you.
All.
Alright, turn 2. Looks like, I mean, I don't really need to heal. How much would you heal anyway? 13. That is pretty impressive. But it is linked to max HP, so even though it's a level 4, we'd get higher marks out of a max level unit. I suppose we're blighting again, hoping that helps. Oh, I can't reach with that.
Annihilated.
Fun, fun, fun.
Be wary.
Alright, we were seeing
precipitates
some stress accruing, which is nice to notice. We don't need this treasure yet. We're here for the combats, yo. You know what? Actually, we're just gonna go the other way. Because we can get all the things done and still explore for later. Sorry, team. Let's get rid of this. Battle number 2. Let's do this shit. Probably gonna try and guard this turn. Alright. Normally this guy's untouchable because of stealth.
Obliterated.
But not with my current trinket. It's almost like I absorbed his stealth even though I technically didn't. That's fun. Okay. We're gonna stun you. And it worked. Hell yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna guard the Vestal. And it does do the stress heal on my poor buried friend. And it would have hit everybody if they all had stress. So if you're in a long dungeon and you've got stress problems or concerns, this is a good way to do that. And if you have a single stress healer, or if you camp often, you can get rid of the Templar's stress as well. Let's blight you. I don't need that. I'm not gonna get the stun. That did not do a lot. Good luck moving me, though. That's not gonna go well for you. Yeah. I have yet to put on my damage reduction. Trying to show off the other moves. Well, you need some blight too, bro. This guy's as good as dead. Please hit the right one. Yes. Good to see. All right, now we've got enough stress that I can heal it. But I can use an attack hit as well if I want it. Here, we're just gonna do this. Get everybody's stress healed for 4. It didn't do it. Does that not count as a friendly skill? Interesting. Interesting.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Success.
I thought self-buff skills counted as friendly skills.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Oh well, it's really not that important. We're going to get a buff, I think? Is that what you do? Yeah, that's what you do. Alright, battle number 3. Let's go. I didn't change any of his kit. I just realized.
Back to the pit. The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
Even the boldest gaze. Well, I'm going to hit the damage reflection. It does buff everybody the virtue chance like it's supposed to, but it did not do the other thing. It's not doing the stress. Oh, 90% chance. Duh. I'm just stupid. I'm not thinking right. The chance didn't proc is what's going on. Don't worry,
As the light
everyone.
gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
We're just gonna have to damage you. Da la 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 la. Asshole. Damage reflection. Get him. Get him, dog.
Their formation is broken.
Alright, so I'll be able to bitter blade the shit out of this guy. He should die in a couple turns then, because that's a lot of blight.
The birthplace of
We're gonna
dread.
heal ourselves. And we got the stress heal. My god. So potent. So potent, wow. Jesus. This guy's never not gonna be stunned. That should be a KO. Boom. He's dead. He's dead, he doesn't know it. I'm gonna stress heal and get out of that form. We don't want form 2 right now. And I guess I'm gonna guard you with my last turn and just let Blight take him. Goodbye.
The wounds of war
Goodbye,
can
Ghoul.
be healed,
It was nice knowing you.
but never hidden.
I blighted myself. God damn it. Of course I did.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Well, you know what, we're gonna do one more because I want to try and show these off. Son of a bitch. I can't believe I forgot for so long. We're gonna bring a very attack-centered build out. Just because I don't get to run it very often, but I'd still get the stress heal out of it. So, well, 90% of the time, which I gotta keep in mind. Fun, fun, fun. Alright. We're still gonna start by stunning the back. I feel good about that. Let's hit the riposte activator. Done some decent damage on him. Maybe I follow up? If the stun lands, I follow up. Yep. I'm gonna follow up on him. We're gonna go with Righteous Blow. Dead. And there went that heal from the crit. And 3 HP on everybody, pretty much, is a good heal party-wide for getting a crit. That's a good
Such
reward.
A terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
It's honestly why you bring Righteous Blow in the first place, because it has a good heal bonus, or, sorry, crit bonus.
Eradicated.
Land the blight?
Blow.
Yeah, and the debuff. Hells yeah. Stun that biatch, and then I'm going to hammer this guy's face in.
As the fiend falls,
Nice crit.
a faint hope blossoms.
Alright, one target left. Welcome to the end of days, Piglet.
Quakes. Press this advantage.
Goodbye.
Give them no quarter.
Well,
Foolish
that is it for today.
Follow
You
and
should
driven
try
into
out
the
the
mud.
Templar. It's a lot of fun. And oddly, like, for a man of the cloth named the Templar, I expected him to be a lot more aggro in his skill set, but he's got a ton of utility for anybody looking for unique ways to have riposte-like gameplay and to be able to guard allies and heal. So he's got a really unique kit, and you should try him out. He's a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay frosty.